can it be? Showing up with Tony T, yes, Ramon SEO. To the double T, be funnelling these bookies like 1, 2, 3. They tapping out and we cashing out. It's plain to see. The morning scheme is the A-team, Mr. T. And I pity the fools who can't hang. Coming with real game is sort of a freight train. It's been reported bank rolls are easy to maintain. So get situated and listen to the picks. And it goes a little something like this.
Hey, and a pleasant good morning to you from Tony'sPicks.com. I'm Ramon Scott. Welcome to the morning steam for Thursday, February 1st. We've reached February. We've made it to Super Bowl month. I'm coming to you from the sports betting capital of the world, Las Vegas, home of the Super Bowl. And we also have some other sports to talk about. Well, we've got one sport to talk about today, really, and that's basketball. Hockey goes on their all-star break. Heard some folks say, well, what's up with this 10-day break? They've never done this, but well, they did actually do this last year, and I think the year it's kind of gotten a little bit longer. So something in the players' union, they've just made the break a little bit longer in hockey, just over the last couple of years. And well, some teams may only receive about a 7-day break. We know, the all star players certainly don't get the full break. They go out to the all star uh, festivities, if you will. And some teams, though, did get a little bit longer break because we know there were only, 6 games over these last 3 days. So some teams have already been out of action for a few days, and they'll have all the way until next Wednesday off. So they'll get as many as 7, 8, 9, 10 days off here with our NHL season. A little bit of a bummer. But we will definitely find some basketball to talk about here. But NHL All Star Game this weekend in Toronto, and we'll have a pick sometime, I guess, too. And I want to say hello to everyone. Thank you for joining me. Hey, it's a short show, man. Promise you this time. There is a really good college card. The games, they're good. I mean, hey, if there's a game, it's good. But I don't know if there's really blockbuster matchups. So I've only selected a handful. Let's make it an easy day, you guys. I'm coming off a okay day yesterday, a little bit of a winner. And uh, what did you think the highlight of the action was? Maybe with that uh, NBA card yesterday. Man, what about some of those games? Hey, good old Doc Rivers, man. I mean, a big change there in Milwaukee last night. Great job, I guess. Uh, the Milwaukee Bucks definitely have some uh, things to work on. It looks like to me. I don't think having Doc Rivers is going to change things. I mean, uh, here's a coach that, right? What is he known for? Maybe, maybe being consistent in the regular season. Milwaukee needs a team to get him over the top. Doesn't seem like that's going to be the case here with Doc Rivers. So we'll see how that works out, but certainly a little bit of a bummer there last night as far as for Bucks fans. I see Jeff in there. Hello, everybody. Nice to have you come in. Let me say hi to some folks and talk about a few games, but get our chat in there and see who was here to say hello. And like I said, I feel bad if we get 50 or 60, but hey, the games are what they are today. Uh, Hey, join me in the Discord. I got the link up there. I've got the early college basketball steam up there. You might want to check that out. Hey, how about that? I don't know if anybody caught it last night, and the trying to bring us a little more international flavor. I know a lot of people like to bet in the middle of the night. We don't always have other options. I brought you that uh, CBA, the Chinese Basketball Association steam last night in the Discord. Put five the Steam plays in there, and well, they went 5-0. So hopefully everyone enjoyed the action from China. Want to say hello to the chat who came in. Bo was here first. Bo Dunn was here first, everybody, to open the doors. So thank you, Bo. Appreciate it. And hey, shout out Bo Dunn. Always great to see you, buddy. Great job, Bo, as always. All right. Gerardo's here today. Chad's here today. Thank you, Chad, for being here as always. Joseph Thompson is here today. Perky, he's ready. We were hanging out real late last night. Joseph Thompson also, we were hanging out. Uh, Gerardo as well for some late night sports betting degenerate action. I thought we did pretty good on some of those picks over there last night on some of those other shows. So hopefully you're able to join me over there a little bit. Gamble's here today. And Fernando talking about this international soccer card. Hey, even I had a play. Gerardo brought some winners to us. Even I had a winner last night in the Discord with my only play in Mexican soccer action with the over last night in the late game with Pumas. Gamble here, Matt D. There's Jeff. Timmy Two Shoes here today. And Gamble talking about him trying to get those plays. I'm trying to get those moves out to our subscribers as early as possible. Try to get these best lines. Apologize if we can't get it early. I know these lines are going to move. That's what you pay me for, and do try to get those plays up. If I do think it's the right side. I mean, I'm not going to just put any moves up there. Stephen Downey here today, Thomas Byrne and Ray Otachi. Good morning, you guys. Thank you so much. Biggie is here as well. And Joseph, yeah, a lot of goals, Fernando. Hey, a lot of goals yesterday in Liga MX. I've got goals in Liga MX. All right. We had some winners yesterday on this show in the NBA. We had the Pistons and the Cavaliers game here to go over yesterday. And we also had a winner here with the Miami Heat. They were able to, get that skid taken care of. I don't know if Miami's fixed anything there. We talked about Sacramento. With their travel in this situation wasn't a great spot for them. We had the Pelicans on the road over the Rockets to whip up on them yesterday. We also had the Minnesota Timberwolves said lay that big number against the depleted Mavericks yesterday. We also had some premium winners, Clippers, Wizards, under premium winner, Kings, Heat, under premium winner, Mavericks, Timberwolves, under winners yesterday here on the show in the NBA. And thanks, Gerardo. Yeah, he also gave out a winner over on the show that we were on. I gave out the Sharks and the Ducks under 6 last night in the late game. We're on the All-Star break now, and we'll make do. College basketball yesterday did all right, I'd say, on the show with our plays here on the show. Of course, we had the double winner. Remember, Xavier and St. John's yesterday. That was a double winner. We had Xavier and the over in that game, Xavier and St. John's. We had premium pick winners yesterday as well. We had East Tennessee State to get it done against the Mercer Bears. And we also had a premium pick winner yesterday, or I'm sorry, show winner yesterday. Oh, I'm sorry. I apologize. I was making note of this yesterday, right? So the Florida-Kentucky game had one of those outrageous trends, but it was definitely in context with the situation. And it happened last night, too, if you're on the show. Guys across the street, they got a great database. You can check it out. I mean, anybody can. And, one of the things that said on the big time trends, that when they really give you some great ones. Now, there are some outrageous trends that, to me, the context doesn't make sense, right? I'm not a big, all the time, night games on Tuesday, but sometimes I am, right? College night games Tuesday, whatever. That's the day they play conference games type of thing. So you got to put some of those things into context and see if it's valid. Well, to me, I thought this was a valid statistic when it comes to trends. Kentucky had played 60 of their last 61 home conference night games had all been under 171 points. Now, granted, they were playing the Florida Gators, and this was supposed to be the highest scoring game in the SEC this year, this month, this century. I don't know, but usually this isn't like a Southern Conference game with bad teams where, the score is going to be 95 to 86. This was Kentucky and Florida. And so 60 of the last 61 games had seen the game have 169 points or less. Well, it did have 169 points or less if you didn't count, or 171 was the total. I think it landed 169. If it landed in regulation, game went overtime. It went over. Still between Florida and Kentucky, we did hit the special one last night. We talked about on one of those shows, Santa Clara and St. Mary's, where St. Mary's had been playing at some outrageous clip, or maybe it was Santa Clara. The 30 of the last 31 games had gone over the 136 number that it was last night, or I think it was 134, and it did go over with a little bit of sweat. But we had some fun, and we had the dog, so we had some fun on those shows. You can check them out here on YouTube. All right. Hey, how else did you guys do on some of those other big games last night in the colleges? We also had, I thought, a pretty good winner yesterday with Gardner Webb here on the show. And there's a good added board today, but I didn't really think that any of them, we'll take your requests. That's what we'll do with college basketball today. I mean, when I was looking at the schedule, I'm like, what can we pick? Oh, look, here's some Pac 12. Well, the best game in the Pac 12 involves, at least in terms of, closely rated, involves the Oregon Ducks, but they're playing last place USC. So I don't know. I'm previewing it because it's a 2-point spread, but we might be able to find some other games that you guys like. And I don't know, just give out the picks. A few more names to say hello to maybe here. No, just you guys making other comments. I don't know if we'll get a big turnout here, quite frankly. A little bit of a light show, maybe everybody knows, taking the day. Even I just didn't get up until like 4:30 in the morning here today, and to get ready a little bit with our show. But just knew we had a little bit of a light day. That's fine. That's fine. We'll have a little Thursday. Hey, also, just want to invite everyone. I'm in a poker tournament online, and it's the video is going to be like you can watch the tournament and you can watch me play. I don't know, that doesn't sound very exciting, watching me play online poker, but you can play in this tournament. It's over on another channel. You can get in touch with me if you really want to play here on this tournament. It's a $50 buy-in and a $50 rebuy if you want, a $25 add-on. So I hope, if that's okay with you, you can join me in what it is, or if you're not playing, you can watch me, right? So I don't know, you can't really see my cards. It's not like, everybody knows I played on national TV even, but you can like watch the tournament. Everybody's taught you watch their faces and see, and that's tomorrow night at 8 Eastern, 5 Pacific. And I'll have some fun there. Doing it, representing Tony's Picks, of course, with our background. And and me. So let's see who else. Oh, R. Thompson's here. It's gonna be I bet it's gonna be an exciting week for R. Thompson. I can remember when my team went to the Super Bowl. Of course, we played the 49ers, so that didn't work out too good. Salty here. Hey, you know what, Salty, right? Look, he says he hit his NHL donkey parlay. Well, look, hey, do I get on some goofy plays here and there on the show? Try to be a little bit contrarian, try to be one of those attention getters, like, hey, look at me, I'm taking bad. Well, look, yesterday we gave out pretty square place. Remember Salty in the last game? I said, I like the Ducks. The Ducks minus $1.80. What are you going to do? Well, they won. They won. They came back to win. So, oh, thank you, CTG. That's so nice of you. Thank you, everyone, for your support. Remember, like I said, I know there's a stigma attached, especially in today's society. Back in the day of the touts. I mean, come on, everybody remembers, uh, the touts from the uh, 80s and 90s, don't they? I don't have to do my tout imitation here, do I? But it's not so much like that, right? I'm coming on here every day. I want to be with you guys because you guys are uh, motivating me to get up every day. Quite frankly, this man's getting old, and I just get so excited to come on here and talk to you guys who I've never met, and I feel so much responsibility to a certain extent. So thank you for coming in here today and getting together with me. Really, and so the support that you give. Uh, I don't have a tip button. It's not like that here with Tony's channel. He's got a great channel, one of the most respected channels on all of sports YouTube, and it's an honor to be on here. And you can support me by buying one of my pick packages or a subscription package. You're going to get my picks. We may have hopefully great runs. I'm on the leaderboards here and a decent day yesterday, but you know what? Even if it's a losing card, you do get the credits here on the single day packages that you get back. Well, you can go with another handicapper. But on all of my games, I give little write ups, tell you maybe how teams are playing, what I think about a team, or their latest trend in the game. Sometimes I'm just making some, putting the best trends on there. The pick is the pick, you guys. I mean, I'm making the picks. And you guys are making the picks here with me, and that's so much. That is the basis of our show because the Chat All Stars here, Gerardo had that Heat game yesterday that we talked about. Where'd my basketball sheet go? Right, Jeff. We had the Kentucky under, and you know what? It was it was a closely rated game, so I guess there was always a chance. It wasn't that closely rated. Shouldn't have been overtime. All right. Gamble said he did that. Bucks game under. Good job. I had over here on the show, remember? But interesting right now. Talked about it too. I mean, we really should have went with Portland. I mean, I did end up with Portland in pocket, but we talked about the game before too with Portland right now. They're getting great points. Brogdon's healthy and back, and great plays last night. Simons that hit that shot in the lane. All right, Biggie, hello. And look at this. Thomas says, whatever the books say, I'm going the opposite way. Now, okay, so that means we are fading the move, right, Thomas? I'll help you out at least. I can try to help you what the books are saying. Jeff says, how about that early game, Ramon? Yeah, let's do it. I didn't put it in there because, well, IUPI is terrible, right? And I thought maybe somebody would request it and I would mention it. So I didn't put in the official schedule of games today, but we'll cover it. Jeff, thank you, Joseph. Yeah, please join me in that. You can get my buy-ins here. I've played in all of them too, like Joseph, and I haven't cashed yet. And I'm supposed to be a ringer. Rodney's going to the casino today. He's going to be doubling down a little bit. And I don't know, maybe I should go play some live poker. All right. And Gerardo's ready with our internet. And look, if anything, the international football card might be one of the highlights of the day here because of our the way our schedule works out here. On Thursday, we do have action today in Spain. We got 2 Premier League games as well, and not much in the big leagues in Mexico tonight, but Gerardo will find something for us. That's right. That's right. I love it, Chad. You know me. So many got up in the sharp square side picks is all that matters if you want. Sharp side is and the square side is. You choose the square side and it wins. It's not square. I think Chad and I are officially in a debate on this. uh, uh, we had some fun with it, Chad, right? With the sharps and squares, and what is what? What is what? Right, brother? I proclaim that I know who the sharps are on, but I don't really. I don't. Nobody calls me and says, "Hey, Ramon, this is Joe Sharp. And I'm taking the Cavaliers tonight. Just want to let you know." And I try to determine who the sharps, and it doesn't mean because the Celtics are playing um, the who sucks. Doesn't mean the Celtics are uh, give me a sorry team. The Celtics are playing the Hornets. Okay, we don't say, well, the Hornets are obviously the sharp side because who's going to take the Hornets over the Celtics? The Celtics could be the sharp side minus 20 points because public doesn't want to take them, keeps the money out of there. They get the best of the price. They can lay points comfortably. That's why a lot of people make a little bit of a mistake. I don't want to say if it's a mistake either because casual bettors maybe it's almost like one of those careful spot, right? Don't try this at home. But sharp bettors, professional bettors, this is my opinion. They're more at like we say, oh man, I'm not laying minus 300. Oh, I would never do that. It's a terrible play. Probably right for the average better. Probably not going to do that. You can't do that over and over and over. But a sharp better will do it. They'll lay they'll lay 3 dimes to win a dime. They will no doubt do it. The more, it's almost what keeps the market balanced in a way. Not everyone just go in. You can't say so many people write, "Oh, who's going to stop a person from going to the casino and just betting $1 million?" Well, the casino for one. Okay. Uh, any news out of the Super Bowl, you guys? The Gamble's ready to go in baseball. And how about it? I mean, well, I think I'm ready for baseball. Look at Timmy. He says, "I'll give you the Twins and under." Just practicing for baseball season. We need some games today. All right, I won't yap for too long. We'll go over to Tony'sPicks.com. Percent better here. Nice to have you as always. And I will be in the tournament, Timmy, of course. Yes. And I want everyone to join me if they can. It's over at Bet Online. So just want to say there where you got to be. And if you have any, I'm not going to tout it too much. We're on Tony's channel, but I just enjoy your company. And hey, I'm representing our brand over there. You can see the background while I'm on the show and all that. But I wouldn't mind to have you join me on a Friday night, play a little poker with me. You can see how do I play tight? Do I play loose? Does my tag image, am I a lag? Am I a tag? Thank you, Gamble. All right. Great job, Gamble. Salty talking about the Kings here. And who else? Chad says caution here, right? Same thing. All the hockey fans said the same thing too this past weekend. Well, maybe they were right. To see one thing that was definitely the case in hockey was that the goals were down. Right, people were just skating out there. It seemed like in these last couple of days leading up to it. All right. Hey, Grip Nitty's here. Grip Nitty, you're not late. I'm just stalling. That's all. We say 6 o'clock, and everybody knows that I wait for the thing to say 6:08 just to get everybody. I don't know why I do that. I mean, why would I do that? I don't know. Well, actually, because I'm a procrastinating late guy. I'm that guy. Yes, the yellow hello. And well, Matt, you do got to throw around. When you get the stack, you got to push it around a little bit. You can't win the tournament just sitting there on a stack. You're just going to bleed off your chips. So splash early. Try to make the nuts, and don't get caught up with in big pots with bad hands early on. They're pretty simple, and just play your biggest hand strong, tight aggressive. All right. I am Russell. If you're talking to me, I'm a Southern California, but now I'm in Vegas. And Miss everybody in Southern California. I do run this show on Facebook. If anybody wants to say hi to my friend, I've met all these new people doing the show here on the Tony's Picks YouTube channel. We get 60, 70 live views now in the show. We used to get double that when we had Mindy, but still we get 500 views, and it's all these new people that I've met. Thank you so much. But none of my friends and family on YouTube. Once in a while, once every couple of people every week, and they've actually probably I would just chalk them up as viewers of the show at this point. All right. Let's go over to Tony'sPicks.com and check out. Want to see who did well yesterday on the site. Uh, check us out over at Tony'sPicks.com. Use the promo code TonyT at checkout. Save 20% off all premium pick packages, including mine today. I want to mention also golf today. Last week I came with a bunch of golfers. Didn't work out, but I will say once again, so the tournament getting underway here soon. If you want to get a bet down, I've only bet one golfer this week. But I will say this. Hello, Mikey. Hi, Mikey. I'm on YouTube talking sports betting. There's my friend Mike. Nice to have you, as always. Stop by, even if you can't stay the whole time. Just checking in is enough for me, brother. You got a lot of work to do as well. But so the PGA tournament gets underway this week at Pebble Beach. One of the most famous courses in the world. In the world, let's make no mistake. So they're at a terrific venue. We know that this tournament always played here at this time of the year, and the weather forecast is a little bit atypical, if not even a little bit more treacherous than usual, with winds and rain expected at times this weekend. We say that happened plenty at Pebble Beach in February at the Clam Bake, but so far this season, the winning odds. There have been 5 tournaments here now this season, starting with the swing. I know a lot of people are like, "Hey, there's been just a couple of tournaments," but I'm going back to actually the start of the season here a few weeks ago. The 5 tournaments now, the ones in Hawaii as well. Yeah, they weren't the best fields, but there were favorites and there were underdogs, as with any tournament. So far this season in the PGA, there have been 5 tournaments. The odds for the winning golfer, these are not in order, but almost in order: 400 to 1, 300 to 1, 200 to 1, 150 to 1, and 100 to 1. So let's take a golfer this week that's at least 100 to 1. Now, there are some guys. Jordan Spieth, has dominated this course. Mike says, JT, the hottest player on tour. I will not jump on here with Mike, but I will endorse the play as Poston, certainly one of the hottest players on tour coming in. He was on our list so far twice this season, so we've been able to cash a little bit on him. But for me, I just had one play, and maybe for me, there are some times to get several plays going, but for me right now, I have I think one, and it's going to be Brendan Todd. He's actually 90 to 1 right now. Brendan Todd, a little bit of good course history with him here and decent form leading up to it. The only other one I'm considering maybe, and again, I was just looking at long shots. Certainly, definitely wanted to look at Mike's golfer, for example, with Poston. 45 to 1 is a pretty good price for Poston the way he's in here right now. You got Thigala 75 to 1. He kind of tossed in a weak one last week when he was pretty highly rated, so you might be getting him at a good price. Eric Cole, the hot rookie of the year from last year, 60 to 1. So some decent prices. You got favorites here. This is Pebble Beach, so we've really the first time. We had some good names last week here in San Diego, but up in Pebble Beach this week, you got Rory, you got Scheffler, Hovland's in there, Xander's in there, Jordan. These are all the 15 to 1s pretty much and better. But the way things are going right now, and if there's a little weather, I'm going to be looking to hang out on the 3-digit end of the players, if you know what I mean. All right, let's take a look at our handicappers over at Tony'sPicks.com. Maybe we've covered a few more headlines. We don't have a lot of games to talk about, and I like to talk sports. All right, Joseph's got a few plays as well. And let's see what else. Oh, Curtis is here. Thank you, Curtis. Nice. And Terrell here as well. Brent Cook doing a great job, Brent. Thank you always for your contributions.
System play.
All right. Uh, all right, Jerry Lewis on top of the handicapper leaderboards here with a 6-2 record yesterday. There's Ron Crawford, author of the spreadsheet play of the day. He went 6-2. Tony's Picks VIP high volume for the VIP account and a good day. 6-2. Gene got picks. Gene got winners once again. What a contribution for Gene. Never met the man. Don't know too much about him, but since he's joined the network here, he's got a pretty solid performance. Good job, Gene. Hey, all of our handicappers are welcome to join me. That's who we have approval to get you guys on the show. Any of the handicappers here, but our guys don't do that too much. They just lay low, I guess. I guess if I could just pick a bunch of winners, and I have to come on here and talk to everybody and ask them to support me. Hey, Nick Bartini was 4-1. I went 6-3 there yesterday on the handicapper leaderboards for plus 281. Ruben Marlboro 5-2. Come to Marlboro country. He went plus 280. So did C.J. Sturgeon, one of our new members as well. We've expanded this roster for 2024. The two old ladies that bet consensus, oh, they had quite a consensus. They agreed on 17 plays on that card on Thursday for a 10-7 record. Pearl of Wisdom, a good hockey handicapper that I was familiar with before he came to Tony's Picks. So, yeah, he was a standout name that I saw on the new roster, and he went 2-0 yesterday. Tim Irwin 2-0. There's Tiffany Mance 8-5. Must have been easy pickings. Look at all the handicappers on the leaderboard. Chauncey Giles, look at that. He had a big dog yesterday to go to plus 105. Joseph Schultz won his only play. Ron Hahn up there. Mindy's up there. And there's doubles. Scott Schutte also on the handicapper leaderboards. Hey, you know what? 4-3. If you could do that every day, you'd still. I think that's 57.14% or something like that, and that would get it done. You could just sit there and go 4-3 every day and live a nice, great life in a nice big house with a beautiful wife and a beautiful car, and letting the days go by. Last 7 days here, Mindy Hahn on top of the handicapper leaderboards, 53-33 for plus 12 units. Sean Dinwiddie, the king of totals, 67%, nearly 5 units of profit. Tony's Picks VIP running hot, up 4 units this week. Mark Butterscotch Eubanks up 3.5 units. Jerry Lewis up 3 1/3 units last 30 days. It's Gene Got Picks. Gene Got Winners up 22.25 units here over the last 30 days. Nick Lagarettos up 19.5 units. Pravi Samba Murdy up 16 units. So is Mindy Hahn and Joseph Schultz up 15.5 units. And the numbers for 2024 got plenty of handicappers still in the profit here. 1 full month in. Great job. You could take this to the bank for sure with these cappers. Your mileage may vary. These are based on $100 wagers. If you're subscribing to picks such as those on Tony'sPicks.com, you might be placing, you probably should be. You got to take into account, don't want to pull the wool over anybody's eyes. You got to take into account paying for a place, if you will, can run as much as $2, $3, $4 or more. The more packages, a bigger package you get, the less expensive it is. That's just how it works here at Tony'sPicks.com. But if you're picking up like a 5-pack or a 7-pack for $25, $30, probably going to want to put some money. You got to cover not only the cost, you might not go 7-0. We'd all like to, but 5-2 would get you home or something like that, and still cover the fees. What you're paying for is, I don't know, the labor. I'll sit here and work on it. All right. Click on the All Cappers tab. That's how you'll find all the handicappers over at Tony'sPicks.com. You can click on their handicapper profile page, and that's how you get signed up. See there, you can take a look at each handicapper's profile. I've got, typical of me, too many words and not enough substance, but you can read all about my philosophy here a little bit, my records for last year, for this year. You see the sports there, up 12 units in January in college basketball, up 7 units almost here in the NHL. And there's that Thursday 5-pack. Thank you, CTG, for getting that. And if I don't go at least 3-2 with this package, you can get your credits back, and I'll go pick another handicapper. Come back with me on Friday. But that's how we work it here at Tony'sPicks.com. That's our profit guarantee. So want you to have a winning experience. We all know that wins and losses come, and just trying to hit a good percentage. Thanks for listening to that, everybody. All right. A few more here to say hello. Who? Elvis is in the building, apparently. All right. Let's get maybe started with our picks. I don't know if there are really too many blockbuster headlines from yesterday in sports, so we'll just get rolling. Super Bowl news. I don't know what else necessarily that there was. Just Mike McDonald was named the head coach of the Seattle Seahawks. That leaves only Washington for the Commanders' coaching job, and the general manager has already said one man it will not be would be Bill Belichick. But Jur said, I could work with Bill Belichick if I had an opening. So Jur might be interested if things don't work out. Of course, we know that the head coaches of Dallas and Mike Sirianni, reportedly big season next year, let's just say, right, guys? All right. Let's get on with the show. Today, 4 games in the NBA. I mean, what are we talking about here? Does everybody just want to listen to me chat about nonsense? No. Let's get started with the games here. All right, I'm ready. There we go. The Pacers are going to take on the Knicks in this one. The Knicks coming in here a favorite. 3 points, and the total at 240. Well, it's not 241. We know that. I knew that I'd be kind of not getting up totally early here, so kind of entered in the lines last night. And you see this one. This one's been a big mover here from a total of, what is it now? 236. Knicks are 3 and 236. Wow, that was a big dropper. You could see this one coming a mile away on the overnights here with the Pacers and the Knicks. Mostly, here's the thing, right? We've talked about the Pacers. Yes, we've talked about them all season long and all those incredible overs in that streak, right? But not lately. I mean, not on the road. The Pacers aren't doing it at all. We've still seen them crank out a few big totals here of late and go over in some of those games. But usually right now, those have been the games that have been at home, quite frankly. And now you're going on the road against a Knicks team that, certainly has taken a more defensive stand. Although in this game, the personnel might indicate that maybe some of our defensive players a little bit are not going to be in this game. So we will take a look at the injury report and see if, maybe you can still consider taking an over here now. It doesn't feel like it. Like that would be the case necessarily to me. Tyrese Halliburton, he's the big question mark, it feels like, in this game, with whether it's going to be another rest, because after he's come back here, he's kind of been off and on, right? He played a game, needed rest, played a game. So we'll see, but Halliburton's on that injury report. Right now, along with some other guys too, including Ben Matherin and uh, uh, Jalen Smith, T.J. McConnell, some guys to help put up some numbers for that Pacer team in that outrageous uh, style that they can play, but it just hasn't necessarily been the case lately at home. And when you're taking on the Knicks, now missing, of course, Julius Randle with his injury. I mean, that's another 25 points a game, right there. Yeah, guys will pick up the slack. We know that, but not two guys, not even at 12 and 13 points, are going to pick up enough slack here, it feels like, to make up the difference. So feels like it could be a game that, maybe the odds makers just relying too much on those numbers, so to speak. The Knicks have gone under in 9 of their last 10 games. They've gone under in 15 of 22 games currently at home this season. And we're here at the Garden tonight in this series where Indiana has gone just 1-4 against the spread on the road at the Garden over the last few seasons. The Pacers have already won the first meeting here, 140 to 126 at home. The Pacers have gone under in 10 of their last 12 road games and 8 of their last 12 games overall. They have won 13 of their last 20 straight up. They've gone 13-4-3 against the spread in their last 20 games overall. The Knicks, well, they're pretty hot. They've won 8 in a row. They've covered 6 straight. They've gone under in 9 of their last 10 games. So you can see where the under trends, even though these are the Pacers, they kind of say all under at this point. All right, so can the Knicks, a short number here. Not only is Randall out, but OG, so you talk about defense, right? OG, questionable. Quentin Grimes, questionable as well. I don't know if that affects it for you guys saying, well, maybe they will play a little bit more. Because, hey, I think part of the Knicks' success, yes, they improved the defense tremendously with their trades or whatever's happened in this little streak, right? They made the trade. They've been hot. Toronto, they've been not. But we knew that was the plan. You don't want to be terrible, but Toronto was going to go to rebuild mode. Let's get some comments. From the chat, he says that total is dropping. Jeff Roblow here today talking about Nebraska. We'll talk about it. Look, even that game was a little bit tough for me. I'm like, well, not tough, but I'm like, what games can we really choose? I think it is a good game. We'll talk about that one. Brent has his Gamble leans under here. Nick's here for Brent. This is in his projections. Oh man, I want to say hello to Jerry Koo. Great to have you, Jerry. I don't know if we've met here before on the show, but if you've been watching, looks like you know what you're doing, what's going on, making the pick. So awesome to have you, Jerry. Real pleasure. Hopefully you join in with me more and more. And great to have your contra. It says sounds like Nixon under, maybe saying what I'm saying, or what's your pick? Is that it, Jerry? Thank you for joining me. Daryl says, take the over. This move is in the wrong direction. Says if that total is dropping, then that means the Knicks win. Okay, I can maybe look. The widely reported steam did come in this game on the under. They hit it at 240-ish. Tim Humphrey, he's on the over as well. So you guys like the over here in this one. I think I was going to navigate my way to the side on this one with the Pacers and the Knicks. Like I said, as far as some of the trends and numbers, I don't know if I'm willing necessarily to not ignore them necessarily, but the sharps are definitely mixed in this one. If I know these sharps, I don't think they're really too solid one way or the other at this point. But I'm going to try to grab these points with Indiana today and go for a close game. Take the points with the Pacers. I'll take 3. Yeah, I am Jimmy, I'm thinking that is. Look, I'm taking it on the show. I'm not going to make it a premium. Maybe, just maybe, uh, uh, Halliburton will be out. Boy, he makes. I mean, to me, look, it's easy to say. It's very square. Silly Squad is here. I know we've met before once or twice, but great to have your pick. I think Silly Squad's been a commenter before. Thank you. Knicks always get out to those hot starts. And Campbell says, when, right, it's the old thing we talk about, like with some of these props. Well, and also this, I want to say this too, real quick. I was talking with another great capper last night. If you're on over props in the Super Bowl, you might want to get them now. I mean, nobody, if you're waiting to get Travis Kelsey's overs, man, you are paying a big time tax. They're already over props are going to be taxed. I mean, these bookmakers know what they're doing. Probably technically should be on almost all the unders, but there is a science to it. Maybe it'll be an over game and it'll always go over and all the props will go over. But realistically, if everything's jacked up, you're always going to have a lot of value on the under in these props. Nobody likes to go under. All right. Gamble said, the Knicks do have a tendency to take it slow. All right. Thanks in that game. All right. Chad says a little something too. I'll just take the Pacers here in this one and hope that Halliburton is in the game. I mean, again, the line will move based on whatever his status is at up in the air. Even though we've seen him in there, he's looked good, but could be some soreness in there. If anybody's had the type of injury, I don't know what we know it was a hamstring, right? But he slipped, remember, and he did the splits. If you've ever had it, it seems like when you have a hamstring, right, it gets better and you can just start running. And if you're not totally warmed up and that thing pulls, it's the worst. It's almost as bad as like a groin pull. Yeah, that's what I feel, Jerry. So I'll just grab these 3 points now because I feel like if he has been in the lineup, I think that they'll be getting less points than this. So I'm gonna try to get out in front of it. And Pacers obviously playing well enough to hang in there if they don't have him. I think. All right, let's continue on with a popular game here tonight with. In fact, did I have this in the right order? I might have actually screwed up a little bit. I was going in rotation order. This game actually will start at the bottom of the hour because it's a big game. Lakers and Celtics. They kind of moved it around a little bit with the time. Might start. I don't know. Maybe it'll start at 4:30, 7:35 Eastern. But this one certainly got the national or TNT treatment, whatever we're on right now here with the television situation tonight. And still a pretty decent game, but obviously big question marks coming in with the 11-point spread and the 241 because, of course, we're always going to have question marks surrounding the stars, LeBron James and Anthony Davis. Now, the fact that we saw Davis skip the last game to me would be the indicator that he will play in this game. Like I've been saying a little bit, we're all getting hot about the players and what Joker's up to right now. With is he going to get the MVP? Is he not going to play enough games or whatever? Anthony Davis is on the path to play career high in games and minutes this season, despite missing games here and there. So Davis so questionable, LeBron questionable. Just feels like a game against Boston. Felt like they were aiming for the game a little bit to at least stay competitive. I mean, they're a double-digit favorite. I mean, double-digit underdog. We know that, but remember how they rested here a little bit, kind of playing into position. It feels like they are wanting to play in this game. Luke Cornett questionable. Big Al's probable for the Celtics in this one. And it is, Brent, but that's just the way the Lakers have to play it. Remember, the rules are, like you have to put these guys on the injury report in case they miss the game. You don't want to get fined. So you just put them on the injury report, and that way you don't necessarily have to. We almost think, right, should we find them the other way a little bit? All right. Let's see here. Anything in this one? Like, here's Boston first half for Chad here. Look, we've talked about, Boston has been pretty good at getting those numbers. Daryl is on the Celtics. Jeff says, is Ben Simmons out again? Big discussion last night with the guys about is Simmons, uh, you know, a bust, right? And the argument was, of course, he's a bust. I mean, look what he's doing right now. He's not getting in there. He's been hurt all this time, right? He's played one game in the past, practically all season, it seems like. It's been weeks. And is he a bust? Well, he probably is a bust in the big picture if he doesn't, ever improve on this. But, and there it is. I mean, right here with Jerry. But what determines a bust, right? If you draft a guy in the first round, now the first pick, now maybe it's a little different first pick, first round, talking about Ben. This might not be the time or place for it, wrong game, but just want to touch on it. If we don't want to see Simmons go down again or stay, be injured for any longer right now with this problem, but a three-time All-Star, was the rookie of the year, two-time All-Defensive team. You don't want that to be the end of it because that would be a bust still. But given his body of work so far, I don't think he's a bust necessarily. If he goes on and can resurrect his career a little bit and go on to have a 10 to 12-year career or something and make more all-star teams, you do want to get a team to the playoffs, to a championship, whatever. He could still salvage this, but there's just so many things working against him mentally, it feels like. But again, so far in his career, 3 out of his 5 seasons, all-star seasons. So just tough to say at this point. Let's keep going with this one, Lakers and Celtics here. I don't know how this one's going to work out, but I got to like the Lakers here, Brent. 126 Lakers, 122 Lakers. I'm teasing you. You can fix it. You probably already did, and I missed it. There it is. Boston gets the better numbers here. Silly Squads TV says he's okay with the Lakers here today. Daryl first half spread. Chad looks like he has some props here. Porzingis to knock him down. Saw him getting a little bit good game last time, right? So, all right. What else? Tim says Boston up first half. And all right. Let's see what I've got here. Look, the widely reported steam in this one came in on the over, and that total right now is pretty much the same, right? 240. We can call it 241 here. Maybe I'll leave it at 240. Let me see what I have as my play, because I think I might have been thinking that got a little bit too high. It was as high as 242 and a half in this one. And I think I probably am going to favor these points, but in this one, I'm going to sit and wait even for the announcement. But I don't know. I just have a feeling these guys are going to be in. And the Lakers, even on the road, it seems like the games that they maybe are supposed to take more seriously and have a chance to win, they end up losing. And then games like this, they end up competing. I probably figure they can compete in this one. I'm going to take the under. I know the steam came in on the over, but I'm going to try the under here with the Lakers and the Celtics. I think the Lakers are going to be my preferred side in the game. I don't know if I can get their premium with them without knowing even for sure. And I'm not usually that guy because I'm like, hey, I like the spot. And getting 11 points, even without one or two of those guys. But again, I think the lead up would indicate they want to play are aiming to play in this game. Lakers have gone over in 7 straight games. They've gone over in 6 straight games on the road, but I'm going to take the under in this one. Lakers have lost 5 of their last 6 meetings against Boston. They've gone 2-7-1 their last 10 against the Celtics. For Boston, they're just 2-5 against the spread in their last 7 games. Boston's gone under in 7 of their last 9. Boston's won 5 of their last 6 games overall and 18 of their last 20 games at home. Big favorite here at 11.5 at Bovada. And we'll see. Boston, has failed to cover in 3 straight games despite winning games here at home against the Pacers and the Pelicans. Laying 8 points each time they failed to cover. They got blown out by the Clippers, of course, 3 games back. So, all right. And maybe a few more for you guys. Lakers for yes to yellow. And let's see here. Oh, did Chad wanted to? Oh yeah, I just can't do it yet, Chad. I know if you want Boston, that's cool. I think I'm definitely feeling the Lakers in this one, but Boston here is Fernando on the Celtics. Brent would love any dog but the Lakers. Basically, I think what he's saying is maybe the Celtics are in a lull spot, maybe a spot. Again, you probably should get up for the Lakers. Maybe in the back of your head you are much better than the Lakers. And Celtics obviously playing well. Man, that end of the game sequence last game with those guys really was impressive. With White making that block and with the way Tatum stole that ball and they got it out there. So Boston looking good, but might be willing to take the double digits with this traveling squad. All right. Let's take a look here now with the Cavaliers and the Grizzlies. Well, you got Cavaliers here on the road, favored by 8 now. So just goes to show you where I typed it in last night and where we are right now. Because this is a stale line big time, and so is that total. This one we should have been ahead of a little bit, but there were some question marks. Let's see what it is now. It's Cleveland by 8, and the total now has gone all the way to 215.5. I knew it. I saw it coming. Should have been on top of this one as well for you guys, but pretty big move here today for the Cavaliers on the road, laying 8 points against Memphis. Memphis, it's interesting the way they're playing right now. They seem to kind of hang in there in a way with this ragtag bunch, but Cleveland, it does seem like as they've kind of gotten healthier here with Allen back, with Mobley back. That's a big deal, right? Those are 2 impact players that, when you're missing both those guys like they were for a while, to get them back, the type of play, spread things out, and it already has been reflected, I think, in some of the other personnel succeeding on Cleveland. Again, they're not big; they are big impact players. They're not, big time scorers or anything, but they do so much more. And I think it allows other players to kind of be their best in their position. So Cleveland's won 3 straight. They didn't get that money against the Pistons last night, but I'm not going to fret about that. The Pistons are starting to close the gap a little bit on some of these teams and getting those home double digits. They've been covering some home double digit numbers here of late. Remember, teams may be bad, but the season is long. You keep practicing, you keep improving, take advantage of some spots. These are professionals. We know that. Cleveland 7-3 against the spread in their last 10. Memphis 7-14 against the spread at home, but they've been getting some covers of late. Even in the losses, they lost their last 2 games, but they covered them. They covered against Sacramento as an 11-point dog. They covered against the Pacers as a 7.5-point dog. They're on a cover streak. Make no mistake, right now, the Memphis Grizzlies, a team we all want to make fun of, right now is covering numbers like nobody's business. So far, they've covered right now 5 straight, despite those 2 losses. They won a few games before that, beat Orlando, beat Miami, and beat Toronto. So good job, Memphis, considering what's going on. Memphis has gone under in 8 of their last 10 games at home. I mean, this one kind of just sounds like an under at this point, doesn't it? How could I not have seen this one coming? Memphis 1-5 against the spread in their last 6 home games against the Cavaliers. Cavaliers come in having gone under in 6 of their last 9 games. These 2 teams are meeting, I believe, yes, for the first time this season. Cleveland, with those consecutive wins right now, they've won 11 of their last 12 games overall to kind of rocket up the charts here with a 29-16 record. Cleveland has covered 8 of the last 11 meetings between these 2 teams. Cleveland's 5-2 against a number of their last 7 games on the road. Comments from the chat include, let's see, here's Brent's numbers to start us off, and he has the Cavs, but that wouldn't be good enough for a cover, and that would be right on the number for the total. In fact, a little bit too high. So the numbers from Brent would indicate Grizz and over here. Chad says, what does he have? Grizzlies and points, going to see how high it gets and take them again. We might have the challenge. Here's the thing. I mean, I'm not going with them as a premium, my friend. That's for sure. I do think I like Cleveland. I don't like it at 8, but hey, on this show, we got to make picks. And Chad, you can get all mad if you want. You can cherry pick this, but I think I want to take Cleveland, brother, even though I like what Memphis has been doing. No doubt about it. That's neat. And Cherry said right here, look at this. Those Grizzlies are surprisingly looking good spread-wise. Yeah, so I can talk them up definitely and still go against them. Tim Humphrey, Cavs, team total over. I think we're on it. Oh, let's do it, Chad. Let's have it. Let's do it. Let's do it. I'll take the Cavs to lay it. I got to lay. Hey, look, I blew it. I mean, these are the ones where I get out in front of the market. Usually I know what's going. I just had a little bit of concern. Let me take a look at that. I think we did look at the injury report, right? We know Memphis has all their injury. There's nothing I can tell you that is going to be a little bit different. Other Conchar questionable, Luke Kennard doubtful here. Vince Williams is probable, and all those other long-term injuries here. Zaire Williams out. That's kind of one that is new to the board a little bit. For Cleveland, they're pretty clear right now. Just Jerome still out, and of course Tristan Thompson serving that suspension. All right, Terrell's like me. I'm just going to take the Cavs here, despite the increased price, and I think I do like that sharp move to the under as well. And of course, hey, as always, everyone, it's David Burns coming in from Cedar Hill, Texas. Great to have you as always, David. Appreciate you stopping by. All right, Chad says big night. And I think I do like the under. I won't give it out here. There's been some nice buyback on the over, but the sharps clearly on the under here, moving this one lower. And maybe I could even still, I don't think I'm going premium. Maybe I could just give it out right now. I do like the under, you guys. Under. Bad number. I'm taking in case Chad wins, let me get the under so I can at least hopefully get a split out of this, okay? Double play here. Gotta have one double play per show. That's what we'll do. We need a graphic. We need a like a double Jeopardy. A little double play. Give me the Cavs and the under. I'll just tease it. I'll do a basketball teaser. One of the worst bets in the world. Okay, here we go. One last game. It's got some news, so we got to tackle it from that standpoint, right? With the 76ers tonight here on the road. We're all worried about Joel Embiid. Is he okay? Is that knee injury going to keep him sidelined for very long? Does feel like he might need to miss some games, like that whole deal with, like what Chad was saying, and trying to get the rules for winning the MVP, right? You have to play a certain number of games now. That's why some of these players are playing in more games. For Joel Embiid, you gotta. He's an easy target, right? I mean, the guy's 7 feet tall and one of the best players in the game. And so when you see him bending over with the old grabbing the front of the shorts and he couldn't even make it at the end of the game, and you're like, what is the problem with it? But you know what? I mean, it's probably tough to be. Anybody in the chat? Is anybody in the chat 7 foot tall and 300 pounds? It's got to be tough being that big. Anyways, the knee, the wear and tear, right? If anything, he shouldn't have been in that. Even I can see it. I mean, probably should not have been in that game. I don't think he's out there kind of faking it a little bit, right? Like, oh, look, I feel sorry for me. But at the end of the game, he just looked done. Maxey is questionable. Nick Batum questionable. Marcus Morris doubtful. Kenny Lofton's out. Bob Cub's still out. Melton's still out. Lots of problems for the Sixers. The Utah Jazz have a clean injury report. No doubt about it. And they're still the Utah Jazz after all. You got, hey, two really good teams. Jazz are good, make no mistake. Widely reported steam came in on Philadelphia. It also came in on the over here at 233-ish. Now we're up to just 238. That's all. 5 and 238. What does that even mean? Did I type it in wrong? No, this one opened as low as 233. When I went to bed, another one we should have got out to the masses. So let's see if here. All right. 76ers and Jazz. We'll start it off with the numbers from Brent maybe here. Says Jazz can rock here with the Sixers having the issues and the Jazz with that. The clean bill of health, I think, is what we can call it. I mean, I really don't see any kind of real injury that's going to be a big factor here for Utah. And what can you say? They've been pretty terrific.
Final.
You have a Utah team right now that's gone 14-6 in their last 20 games. They've been losing a few, no doubt, here. But again, I kind of look at the spread a little bit in some of the games where maybe they were underdogs. And hey, if you cover the spread, in my opinion, you've done yourself pretty well in that game. Great point here. Great point, Terrell. Maybe the guys do know what, maybe these players do know what's best for their bodies and all that a little bit. Jazz at home for Tim Humphrey. And let's see. I think. Okay. Oh, they don't like the Jazz, right? The Jazz can be too inconsistent, really, right? Yeah. I mean, look, they've lost 5 of their last 7, but they've won 9 of their last 10 at home. So, yeah, maybe there's some issues on the road. Look, Philly's lost 4 in a row and aren't covering anything right now. They're on the 5th game of the road trip here in this one. Losses to Golden State, to Portland, to Denver, into Indiana. Yes, is Utah, a 500 team? Yeah. But, throw out part of the season so far. Utah 16-5 against the number at home this season as well. And It's always been a trouble spot for the Philadelphia 76ers when coming into Utah, no matter who has been there, right? For the last 2 decades. Utah has beaten the 76ers 15 of the last 18 meetings here in Salt Lake City. And, that's just once a year. But look, Joel Embiid's been there for a few years. And the Jazz, maybe they've been a little bit better than this team in the past. But I don't know. This team's pretty much picked it up. 4 last 5 games between these two teams have gone under. Utah's gone over in 5 of their last 7. Both teams are pretty much big time overs this season. They've combined to go 55 and 40 to the over overall. Philadelphia 14 and 9 to the over on the road, 22 and 11 to the over as a favorite. This one's already through the roof and could only be a free play, it feels like to me here. I still think it might go over in this one. I'll just take it over. I'm sorry. There's nothing I could do about the number, you guys, and I'm just going to give out maybe it still could end up short. It's hard to find a sharp really that's on the under in this one. I'm showing the sharps maybe here. Maybe a 3-to-1 ratio. So, all right, I'll take the over though. This one's gotten out of control, and without Embiid, right? I mean, you still want to get this one going over. I guess it's supposed to. Jazz first half for Chad here. That's probably what 3.5 or so. 3 minus 15, I would imagine at this point. All right, that's it. 4 games in the NBA, you guys. Thanks for joining me on that portion. If you guys are out of here, see you tomorrow. Thanks a lot to you guys. And let's go over to college ball. I've selected some games. We'll start with Jeff's special game first because he was nice enough to ask. And yeah, I think we'll be off the air before it starts. It's nice to have a little noontime basketball here today. It's already February 1st. We're ready to get the pitchers and catchers going soon. We'll have conference tournaments. Oh, that's going to be fun. That's where we're going to continue to smash. Okay. Thank you, Chad. Take care. Appreciate you so much, man. You don't even know. I almost had to go. I had to find you on Twitter. I almost had to slide into your DMs and flirt with you to come back. You don't understand, Chad. I need great contributors, and quite frankly, and I don't know if I was supposed to talk about later. I thought that's how you wanted to be, right? You treat people. Everyone said Chad's a little, he's a positive. He's a positive person. He's a right, and so I'm like, I'm supposed to be that way with him. So I thought that's why I was doing the right thing. I didn't know you were going to get mad. All right. Thanks, brother. Thanks for everything. Okay. Here we go. College basketball. Oh, let's just put up the banner here real quick and we'll talk about Jeff's game here with IUPUI and Green Bay. It's funny, right? Jeff, you've probably already even seen it in a way. How did this happen? How did this spread get going like this with a bad team like IUPUI in here, basically getting all the action against Green Bay? Here, the spread is 12.5 currently. I think it was actually lower yesterday, 12.5 and 135. I'll make you a graphic. I'm going to make a graphic for the Jeff special here, the Jeff SRAM special in our game today. IUPUI at about like this, because hey, Jeff's from Milwaukee after all, so he's got some interest in the game. There we go. All right. Oh, 2 commas. Fat fingers. All right, here we go. So in this one, look at this, right? It opened 14. I think it actually went down to as low as 11 and a half, maybe even 11. And it's since been some buyback here on Green Bay. But, IUPUI, they're obviously, when they're not very good, they're 6-17. Green Bay's had a decent season, but this is a game where I got to trust the Sharps, man. I got to trust the Sharps here and figure this is going to be. And I'm going to go side and total probably on this game right now for Jeff. Maybe he'll have a pick. Maybe let me see what he has, if anything. Um, Russell, that is one of the games I chose. You know what? We're going to preview it. I don't know. Like I said, USC's in last place. I was like, which Pac-12 game? This one's close at least, but the schedule really on these games. There's not any even on the extra board. I don't think there's like a real first place determining. There's some second and third places in there, but anyways, what do you have in this one, Chad? Matt, with this game because for me, I look at this one. Like I said, to me, it looks like a sharp move, Jeff, with IUPUI. Right off of 14, they're obviously the worst team. This is where you look to say it's the Sharps. It's the Sharps because who in their right mind is going to go out on Joe Square, our favorite better, is going to walk up to the window at noon and say, "Give me IUPUI plus 14 points," because that's what I really want. Now, you and me in the chat and us hardcore betters may do so, and well, quite frankly, I'm going to do so right now. I'm going to take IUPUI as my play here. Maybe we can reel off some statistics, but there aren't necessarily this is almost kind of just a little market move. And I promise you, I was considering this game as a little bit of a premium, but just kind of tough to get a little bit of backing here with IUPUI. I mean, they're not covered. They've lost 8 of their last 9, 18 of their last 20 games on the road, dating back to last season. They are just 5-14 against the spread in their last 19 games. Who in the world would want this team? Well, the Sharps apparently want this team. Green Bay's 9-1 against the spread in their last 10 games. 9-1 against the spread. They've gone over in 6 of the last 9 meetings with IUPUI. They've also covered 5 straight games at home. They've covered 11 of their last 12 games in conference. They're in the conference schedule. I mean, that kind of agrees with their 9-1 record here currently. But nonetheless, when I see something like this, I'm like, I obviously don't know what's going on. Right? Some sharp better other than me knows that IUPUI will hang in this game. Jeff says, just lay it. Don't buy into the Sharps or whoever is taking 14, 13 and a half, 13. They just kept taking the points. Like I said, it went all the way down to 11 and a half, and it is 12 and a half now. So there definitely has been some pushback here with the better team in Green Bay. Green Bay and over for Timmy Chushu. Fernando says, you know what? I agree with that philosophy a little bit. David Burns also here. So, all right. I'm going to take, I think, I said side and total. I do. I have a total on this one as well. This one might be more based off my numbers, but I think at 135 here, I want to go under. 134 and a half at Circa. I'm fine with this. So give me, because it's the early game of the day, and I'm not going to do a premium on this one, IUPUI and the under double play in college. All right, hold me to it. We got 60 of you here for college basketball, so hope these games are okay today. The ones that I'm choosing anyway. I think they're okay. They're decent games. We know this schedule. It's not. It's a mid-major schedule here for the most part. So I've got Drexel and I've got Monmouth. The Dragons here, a road favorite by 4. And the total here, 138. So it's gone down a point from last night. with Drexel here on the road in this one. We take a look right now at the standings in the Colonial, and currently the what is it called again, you guys? The Central, the Colonial, the Coastal. God, how is it going to take me all year to get this conference name right now? CAA. We know it's a CAA. I might just say CAA from here on out because I keep saying Colonial back in the. I guess you couldn't. I guess you can't have a conference called Colonial now because of I don't know. Maybe it harkens back to the Civil War and all that. Maybe it's just because we have those new teams in there. It's not so colonial anymore when you've got uh, teams like Stony Brook in the conference and Delaware and Monmouth. Some of these, I don't know. I don't know. Anyways, Drexel here on the road. Amari Williams and company going in to take on Xander Rice and the Monmouth Hawks. This one's important. Drexel's in first place. They're 8-1 in the standings right now, and Monmouth they're down a little bit at 4-4, but still Drexel a 1.5 game lead right now over Charleston atop the coastal standings. So with Drexel, let me see here. We've got a little bit of info on this one. All right. Yeah. For the Dragons here, they come in having won 8 of their last 9 games here. As we're getting into conference play, and they're doing a pretty great job. They're 15-7 overall. Monmouth at 10-11 currently. Monmouth's covered 13 of 18 games. However, right now looking pretty good on some of these spreads. They're 8-3 against the spread at home, 10-4 against the spread as an underdog. Drexel's 5-7 against the spread on the road, although a decent 9-6 record against the spread as a favorite. Monmouth has gone over in 4 of their last 5 games. They've also gone over in 12 of their last 16 conference games. They've won 8 straight games at home right now. Drexel, with that streak coming in, they've pretty much done a pretty good job in this series against the Hawks. Drexel's won 10 of the last 14 meetings between these two teams. These two teams played their first game just a few weeks ago. Drexel won in that one at home, 78-74, but Monmouth got the money in that one. Still like the way Drexel is playing right now. Feels like this is an achievable price actually on the road. Maybe Monmouth with this hot home streak might be attracting the attention here, but I think I want to lay it with Drexel, and I think I like the over as well. I might do another double play actually, as I don't know if I can go premium here, and I just want to have a winning day. Try to show that I can make some picks. Perky's on Drexel. That makes me feel good. Mark Lee's here today, and he's on the over. Terrell. Terrell, we're gonna have words that are not offensive but could be considered offensive. Go. There's a show that I'm on another channel, right? And they always have a song where they like sing America and all the great things about America. And when it comes back, I always try to like add 3 or 4 more things, and I say stupid things that are obviously American and like only in America, like what, like oh gosh, what are some of I don't know. I'm always in a different mood on that show. All right, a Drexel and over for me. I'm going to go ahead and just go out another double play here on our show. All right, let's. I got a few more here, you guys. We're not going to slow down on this college card with some of these mid majors today. How about the Seahawks here of Wilmington coming in and taking on Charleston here? Charleston, a favorite in this one. The other, decent game, I think, here in the Colonial because you have Charleston, as I said, just a game and a half back right now of Drexel. Wilmington is 5-3, so pretty important game for them in the standings. They've got Trazarian White, of course, on Wilmington. Maybe him and Williams, probably the top two players in the conference coming in. Wilmington's coming in off of a loss. They're 14-6 coming in. Both these teams solid records straight up. Wilmington 14-6, Charleston 15-6. Wilmington though is off of a loss against Stony. 86-76. They were favored in that one by 4.5 points. Before that, win and covers against Northeastern, against Charleston, and against Elon. So it was that other game against Charleston. It was 78-69. Wilmington got the win. It was at Wilmington. So Wilmington won at home. Charleston coming back here now at home as the favorite. Total maybe is snuck up here to 155.5. Nah, I'm going to go under, I think, in this one with Wilmington and Charleston. These two teams have been going over. There's no doubt about it. But at 155.5, just not sure I can get there. If I read off a bunch of stats, a bunch of trends on these two teams, wouldn't make sense necessarily for my pick in this one. So I don't always just come in here and roll with those trends. I think they're important in the right context. You out there, Mikey? I'm never going to be critical of a good trend. Now, a bad trend. All right. Let's talk about this one a little bit with these two teams. If anything, Charleston 6-9 against the spread as a favorite. Meanwhile, Wilmington, they've been favored in most of their games this season as an underdog. They're 2-2 against the spread so far. And for Charleston, 9-11 against the spread overall. They're 8-1 straight up at home. Meanwhile, Wilmington comes in with a 7-5 record on the road, pretty decent. Straight up, mind you. Any picks for you guys on this one? David says, "Hey, Charleston is good, no doubt." And Perky wants me to do a mumble rap, but I'm a mumble cap. I'm a mumble capper. Remember we had a rapper capper? We kicked him to the curb, but anyways, I'm a mumble capper. Who do you like? I'm like, whoa. All right, I'm going to go under in this one, guys. This is off of my personal read here in this one. If I were to read off a bunch of trends, I'd be telling you over today. Thomas Lou, oh no. I mean, usually, right? You got to call the bank. You hate when this happens and like some kind of lock gets on, right? Maybe somebody rang in a transaction from China and all of a sudden your account's frozen. That sucks. But usually a banking error, you collect $200. All right. Let's just move on. I kind of want to go into the trends a little. There's a few that might support my position on the under in this one, mostly coming, I think, from the Charleston side. But man, there's not a lot of trends that would necessarily indicate just maybe the type of scoring that the teams do because. This stone's definitely supposed to have more points with a team like an offensive team like Charleston. Sorry, you guys. Like Charles, I mean, they're top 150 offensively, but the defenses for these two, especially Wilmington, not very good. They do rank at the bottom in some key not bottom, but 250 to 300 in some defensive metrics, but I'm going under, and Timmy agrees. So thank you, Timmy. Shay Nunn's here today. Good to have Shay on Charleston as well. Terrell did it. How about that game board where they now have it? Does anybody have that game board that I see on the infomercials? And it's like it's a virtual or an LED board, and like you could play any game on it, Monopoly, Risk, or whatever, and it's all like digital. That thing seemed like pretty cool. All right, I've got a few more here. We're going to go to the Big Ten. We're going to go to the Big Ten, Wisconsin and Nebraska. Uh, Great game. Obviously, we're going to go to a good game right now. Hey, any of those mid majors in between there, anybody want to pick? Let me know. We'll do it at the end of the show here. Still going to go 2 hours. It feels like we're almost done. Wisconsin here against Nebraska. So look, it's tough, right? You're in the Big Ten. Immediately, your radar's thrown up. Like, okay, Wisconsin, no matter how good they are, they're on the road here. Maybe this is going to be Nebraska's spot because there does seem to be a little bit of home court going on here a little bit in the Big Ten right now, a little home court bias, a little home court edge with just about every matchup, it feels like. But I just can't get over the fact that this looks to me like a bad matchup for Nebraska. Now they're at home. You know, they've got great players. They've got great shooters. They've got Tominaga. I get all this, but if I look at it player for player matched up against one another, it's just like, well, I guess if it was played anywhere else, I would take Wisconsin. If it's taken at, Nebraska, that definitely puts a little bit of stall into it for me to a certain extent. Wisconsin has won 3 straight games since that loss to Pennsylvania. They beat Indiana, they beat Minnesota, they beat Michigan State. They're 8-1, obviously red hot here in conference. Are they the surprise team, or is this kind of what they're definitely a surprise as far as being a top right now. It feels like at the top with the record that they do, but it doesn't feel like it's all uncharted water for a team like Wisconsin that year in and year out is going to win 20 games and sometimes even more. So like a couple years back. So for the Huskers, they come in having a little bit of a spell here, having lost 3 of their last 5. But again, they're on the road losing conference games. All their conference games, all their losses have come on the road. So maybe the value's on this Nebraska team, but I just can't get over looking at it like man for man, kind of the matchups for me a little bit with Storr, with Crawl, with Wall, and these guys on Wisconsin. Now, I love Tominaga. Everybody knows that. Everybody loves this guy, right? But Williams, Mass, I just feel like the Wisconsin players are just better. Maybe maybe Wisconsin's a tad deeper, which is okay. What you need on the road, and I don't want to be, I'm not kissing up to Jeff here. Did he comment on this or did he take off? Let's see what we got. Wisconsin all day, says Jeff. And Perky says Wisconsin. All right, I'm glad you guys are on Wisconsin. Because then I don't feel bad if we go down, you guys. I just look, the Big Ten is definitely, it feels like you could almost just take home teams in these spots to a certain extent. I don't want to be just so naive on this. Banger, nice to see you today. Wow, it's $1,000. Well, they're gonna have to fix that, Terrell. They only have a cheap version for guys like me. Perky has Wisconsin ranked high, and this would be the type, right? This would be the game, right? A game where I don't know if I should say it like that because actually Wisconsin, if anything, they're kind of they might be due for one. Look, the funny thing is we saw the game last night, and yes, Purdue was able to come through in the end and beat Northwestern in overtime. Wouldn't that have been interesting? Because all of a sudden, then Purdue would be, a game and a half out. But they're keeping the pressure a little bit here on Wisconsin. So, yeah, Jeff, look, I want Wisconsin, and I do feel a lot of reservation. I want to go premium. If this wasn't, I don't want to say if they were at home because that's too easy to. How about if this were a tournament game? If this were, you got it, Timmy. I want to talk about that game too. It actually was on my list, and I'm like, I don't get enough contribution from the chat. That's another thing on some of these games. Don't get enough contribution, so I don't want to preview it necessarily. So over for Shay. Thanks, Shay. Appreciate that. I'm going to write that down because I did not have any opinion yet on the total. Even me necessarily was kind of. All right. Yeah, don't forget, right, Jeff. You have a guy like uh, Hepburn, and here's the other thing. He can get into the pockets of some of those guys. Man, he can really play some defense. Maybe there'll be more points scored in the. No, that doesn't work out. It does. No, Perk. Yeah, yeah. I know you're not, insulting me and saying do some capping. No, there's no doubt. Yeah, no doubt. Even on neutral, right, Jeff? And Perky's not making fun of me or saying do like I am doing some capping, right? I'm doing some capping. Nebraska. If I look at these teams, I mean, look, it doesn't take a guy in a YouTube box. Wisconsin looks pretty darn good. But gosh darn it, Perky, these Big Ten games just, you know, you watched them. Hey, look, Nebraska's going to get out to a 6-0 league, and Perky's going to be jumping off the Coronado Bridge. All right. And they're going to have to come back. So, all right. Look at that. Grip says, you know what, Grip? Look at Grip. He might be the next capper on Tony's picks. He says, take Wisconsin. Feels like a premium for sure. All right. Daryl. All right. No, I know Perky, but I'm just saying. Jeff. Jeff, you were supposed to be our contrarian, like talk us off the ledge here. Sharps, I show the Sharps here on Nebraska. I'm on Nebraska by about a 2-1 margin. To me, the Sharps that win. I mean, I try to interpret this data. There's nothing that says Sharps that win are on Wisconsin and Sharps that lose are on Nebraska. I just look at it as if from the way these moves are working out, from the way the line moves, and from the way that I do this thing every day, watching these, two screens. The good Sharps are going to be on Wisconsin. The bad Sharps are going to be on Nebraska. Doesn't mean the bad Sharps can't win this one. All right, one more I think I've got, and we'll look at that other game. Oh, two more. Because I want some mid-major action with you guys. How about Youngstown? Youngstown and Wright. I guess I could be, at least give Youngstown some respect on their school name. I mean, we know it's Youngstown State. I'm a little bit of a stickler. I don't know why. So I know I will abbreviate when I'm talking, but that's okay. We can do that. We're cappers. We know who the teams are. Okay. Youngstown State at Wright here. Youngstown comes in 16-6, Wright with a 12-2 2 record in this one. I thought this one maybe warranted some good attention. I mean, after all, it is pretty much atop the old excitement meter on the KP today. So why not talk about this one with Wright coming in on a 3-game winning streak right now, 7-4. Currently in the horizon. So, pretty good job here by Wright. Here, just 2 games back right now. I'm sorry, 1 game back behind. Uh, uh, a game back of Green Bay, um, 1 game back in the loss column. 1.5 games in back of Green Bay for Wright. That's it. Youngstown is a half a game back of Green Bay. So this is a big game in the horizon. This one's on ESPNU here at 9 Eastern and 6 Pacific. Youngstown is 11-6-1. ATS coming in. It's Youngstown that is kind of the uh, team that is more of a team oriented, if you will, right? With their group with Thompson and Rush. Meanwhile, I think for with Wright, you think of their man. Gosh, what is his name now? Um, Colvin. Thinking of Chad. Calvin is their top player. I think they got another Holden and Calvin for Wright. Here, I'm going to look at it. Gosh, what is that guy's name? What is that guy's name? How embarrassing. No wonder I'm on YouTube. Trey Calvin, Tanner Holden. We know these guys. I mean, come on. I watch ESPN Plus every chance I get on these games for Wright State. They've also won 3 in a row, having covered 2 of those. They did fail as a big favorite against IUPUI. Hello, getting 15 points, but they covered at Cleveland State. They covered at home against Milwaukee. So 2 teams on a little bit of a winning streak here. It's Youngstown that's been covering all the spreads. Youngstown actually has been quite a monster here against the spread this of late, as I mentioned. 11-6-1 against the spread this season, 6-3-1 against the spread in their last 10. They're on a cover streak right now, no doubt about it, coming into this one. And Wright State is just 9-12 against the spread this season, but 7-7 ATS as an underdog. Youngstown's covered 6 straight. Right now, they've won 6 of 7. They've covered 11 of the last 16 meetings between these 2 teams. Youngstown has also won 4 out of the last 5 meetings between these 2, including the first meeting just a couple of weeks ago. It was 81-71. Youngstown got the win and the money at home. Wright has won 6 of their last 8. They've won 16 of the last 20 meetings overall between these 2 teams. Wright's gone over in 4 of their last 5 at home. 5 of the last 6 meetings between these 2 have gone over. That first meeting, though, did not go over, even though it landed 152, which is under this number. The total on that game, we talked about some of those high totals, right? The total on the first game between these 2, 165, and that's as high as it has ever been in this series. But last year, the meeting here was 153.5. It was won by Youngstown, 88-77. Last season, I'll say it wasn't last year. It was actually December of 22. Youngstown got the money in that one. All right. You guys have a pick here. Hope I gave you some information on this one. Look, I know I've just reeled off a bunch of kind of over trends of these teams, but I feel like I like the under at 164.5. Like I said, they couldn't get the big number last time. Maybe why would they this time? It's close, but I'll just lean to the under here as a pick on the show. I didn't really feel that strong about the game, but I picked it and want to have a pick. So, what'd you guys do, if anything, here? And Thomas says he's got Youngstown. And I agree, Jeff. That's why my college basketball, like I said, what are we up 10 or 12 units so far in January? Feels like it should have been more. Like I said, I don't mean to whine about the 7 games I've lost in the past week of overs when I bet under and it went under, but it went overtime and I lost. No problem. That happens, but that'd be a big swing, right? Even half of those, I'd put me up 15 units, and if I won those, it'd be 20, whatever. We'll get them. All right. Terrell says that revenge game, don't forget. And Timmy says he does see that total up there. Do I have it wrong, brother? Yeah, maybe I typed it in wrong. Right. So that's a funny, right? Yeah, I'll just go under the good number. So I think I just missed it by a digit there. I think that's what it is. Thanks, Timmy, for pointing that out. Actually, I said it right, right? Did I say it right? Did I say right? 164.5. I guess I did mess it up there a little bit on the discussion of it, but nonetheless, I'm on the under at where is it? 164.5. Oh, that sounds great. Now it's a premium. Hold on. No, I don't know if it is a premium actually. My numbers do have this one running about one in the 161 range, so we're going to go under for sure in this one. Sharps, to me, I have sharps running about 2-1 on the under. Actually, and also reporting to you. Oh, okay. No, I don't have enough data yet on the total with percentages, but Wright is taking heavy money in this game against Youngstown. I don't have an opinion on the side. Okay. Yeah, you got it. Yeah. Is that what it is, Jeff? No, I think I just typed it in wrong. It opened as low as 164.5. Just a typo. But I'm going under nonetheless. Yeah, thanks, Jeff. Seems like I got a great price. Okay, one more. I don't know. I picked this one. There's some other Pac-12. There's some really bad other conference games. Big West. Some of the stuff's pretty bad. The Sharps are steaming Cal Poly over. Why do they keep doing that? I never know. Hey, check out in the Discord, you guys. Maybe that's something we can talk about here real quick before I get to the last game and the show's over. But head on over to our Discord because in there I have the college basketball steam for today. It includes the IUPUI game. The Sharps took IUPUI, and you'll see on there at 12 plus 12.5. But I put the link in the Discord there at the top of the description and just want to show, you want to play some more games, you don't have enough picks. These aren't necessarily picks that I give out there. The widely reported Steam that I always talk about is the line service. And you can get all those plays there. Here is the Discord right here. And you see there are all the moves. Let me blow it up. We don't need to see what all the chats I'm in, all the discords I'm in there with. Shout out Tom Cunningham, Sal Vetri, the Killer Cappers. Anybody who does the SQL, you know what I'm talking about. All those. Where do you think those trends come from? I mean, you go to that SQL Killer Sports database, and it's just a field day. It's just wonderful. So, anyways, there's that Steve. Check it out over in our Discord. And Gerardo, let me show that though too. He's got, how about that? There's that first play of the day. Man United, first half draw, no bet. Here's that China Steam from last night. It went 5-0. Yeah, granted, I put it up there at 2 a.m. Eastern time, but could have went 5-0 by following these China plays last night, believe it or not. And Brent's got his overnight projections. Thank you to all of our contributors over there at El Jefe. Jeff, nice to see you in there as well. Thank you for everything. All right. One more game here. Maybe we'll cover a few more. We saw Seattle, so we'll get to that one too. Oregon on the road here at USC, last place. USC, did I say it? Oh, boy. That's not what we like to hear. I always say that, well, you know how I feel about Andy Enfield. Andy Enfield always gets what he wants. Andy Enfield going to be find himself on the um, unemployment line here if this keeps up. Can't have USC sitting in last place, you guys. That's not good. Uh, has the well run dry for Andy Enfield now that some of the players are starting to graduate and move on, and maybe Enfield, maybe it was just all a fluke all these years. He hasn't had the enormous success. I mean, I think it's still, think of Gulf Coast as his big time success. Going up here against first place Oregon, they are tied right now with Arizona atop the standings. So we'll just see how Oregon fares in the Wacky 12. You got to figure USC is going to come back a little bit and get back into this race. I picked this game. I might be going, hey, you know what? I might just go with the chat in this game. I really didn't have a pick. I wrote down right here, wait, just wait. See if any movement came to the line. Maybe see what the chat has. Oregon's covered 10 of their last 15 games coming into this one. They've also won 10 of 14. They've won 13 of the last 20 matchups here with the Trojans, and Oregon's also gone over in 7 of their last 10 games on the road. They come in with a 14-6 record overall to go with that first place conference mark of 6-3. We're finally, maybe we'll see some separation in the Pac-12. Look, Oregon's trending towards the positive right now. It feels like the way things are going. USC's on a long losing streak here. They've lost 5 straight. They've covered just 2 of the last 8 meetings when hosting Oregon. They're also 1-5 straight up last 6 conference games. They've gone under in 4 of their last 5 games overall. For the Ducks, they've gone over in 7 of their last 10 games on the road. Help me, chat. I don't know what I'm doing with this game. Oregon, I see up to a 2.5 point favorite at a few spots right now. So probably just end up on the under here, you guys, unless you guys talk me onto something. Here's Jeff with USC at home. Thanks, Perky. Good job. Appreciate you. Brentzel might be a little behind us, but all right. Oh, okay. We've got, hey, want to welcome everyone kind of rallying the troops here necessarily. We don't want to make it a political format. I will go ahead and I do want to be fair to everyone in the chat, but yeah, probably got to leave out the politics. So I'll go ahead and not taking one stand or another. If someone came in here with the other candidate, we'd go ahead and bump that off too. Probably just going through chat rooms promoting the candidates here, but been some interesting results of some of. I know the polls are a dime a dozen, but hey, Perky, you kind of got a Perky. Well, maybe Perky left, but we might bet on. Look. I have a bet on a Republican candidate who's still alive in this race, and it wasn't based on the fact that I thought that other candidate was going to win. It's just that I wonder if one of the major candidates in that party might not make it to the finish line because of circumstances that may be out of their control. So, not saying that I didn't get a good price. Over a year and a half ago on the only other candidate left for that party. But that candidate was 8-1 at one point. And I think I have a good feel. I'm not going one way or the other. I told the guy, nice, Terrell, nice. Told the guy, a longtime buddy of mine, one buddy of mine, and said, I think I was dealing at the poker table, and I said, maybe Trump will win. What's the worst thing that could happen? Not saying it, look, the policies might have been fine, but hey, you know what? A little insurrection never hurt anybody. All right, let's get the pick here. I'll take the under with Oregon and USC. That's it for the show. Let me get to the Seattle game here. I think I do have a pick, Seattle and Grand Canyon, because I was like looking for games. What could we preview? Which games? And I was like, well, this one I don't. It might not be a great game with a 9-point spread, but I did have an opinion on it. It's 9 and 141 and a half, I believe, right now. Let me make a graphic. We'll just stay here all day if you want. Okay, Seattle at Grand Canyon. I think we're dealing with a 9.5, and the total. I think what is it? 140. I'll call it 141 and a half here in this one. The Havocs will be out here with this one, and man, they'll have some fun. They'll have some excitement, and I'll tell you what, this game's on the move again right now. I think, if I'm not mistaken, on the total over. I'm going over. Let's get on it over. You guys, if look, I'll read some stats off here for a real quick preview in just a second, but this one's all the way up to 141, juice to the over at DraftKings, 140 and a half at Bet Online. It's going up. Heavy volume to the over. I'm going over for sure in this one with Seattle. That's a pick. That it would have been a You know what, Jeff? It would have been a. Hey Jeff, it would have been a premium. Okay, I will look at South Dakota State as well. And so Jeff was the one that I believe asked about Seattle and GCU. My call is over. And like I said, I really feel like this would have been a premium. I don't know if I saw this type of market action coming, but having already been on, considering the over in this game, and now it's unanimous by the sharps here. We're paying a little bit of a tax to get on this one at 141 and a half when the total was maybe 139 and a half or so. Terrell talking about it here with Seattle winning the first game at home against GCU. Do remember watching that game in that one, because the spread in that game, ironically enough, let me see what it was here. I think they were just starting to get to GCU was a 5.5 point favorite in that game. So you see there now they're just 9.5. Seattle got the win. It was a little bit, I don't want to say fluky at all. They really played well. I mean, Seattle does have an interesting home court, and sometimes can make the and again, if anything, Grand Canyon can be a little bit of a pretty strong home road dichotomy for the most part, although this is a good Grand Canyon team, no doubt. They are undefeated at home, 19-2 overall. I mean, they're barring, again, you'll have to win the conference tournament, it feels like, in this conference, but they are so good right now. This has really been just a great we think of how good they've been, right, and how under the radar they've kind of been over the last few years, and a great crowd and all that, but this is really something. They've won 10 straight at home, 16 of their last 17. They've gone over in 8 of the last 12 meetings against Grand Canyon, against Seattle, I'm sorry, but Grand Canyon's gone under in 5 of their last 7. Seattle's gone over in 4 of their last 5. They're just 1-7 against the spread in their last 8 games on the road. So you have one team with doesn't lose at home, another team that doesn't win on the road. However, Seattle 4-3 against the spread on the road. They are also 6-1 against the spread as an underdog. System play. And Grand Canyon as a favorite, they are 9-9 ATS. So, Thomas, this is something I continue to wrestle with and been working on. I might try to master the YouTube polls. I really want to design the morning steam consensus type of thing. Some of the other folks have it. just by putting like the two or four options on the screen, and everyone would choose, and that would be the play of the chat. So thank you, Rodney. Me and you, brother. Me and you, sir, contemplating our future every day. And hey, Rodney, hope you can join me over on Bet Online. I know I can make there, and maybe online's not your thing, but love to have you in our little poker tournament with those guys. And you can take my money. Thanks a lot, everybody. Thanks for what? Oh, what was one more? I'm sorry. What was it? South Dakota. Joseph Thompson, South Dakota State. South Dakota State. I think we can take a look here. This is game number 771 and 772 with North Dakota State and South Dakota State. And if I can just get us a play here, maybe that'll do it for the show. All right. Yeah. North Dakota State and South Dakota State. South Dakota State is a 9.5. Make sure I get it right here. 9.5 point favorite. And the total here is 151. That's down from 154. That's a key indicator to me, given the circumstances in this game. I can tell you right now, I'm going under. It's not the sharpest play from these sharps, if you will, but it definitely is a situation where the sharps are going under. Unquestionably, there's very little resistance from the books at this point. They're just adjusting and going under. The widely reported Steam came in on the under. It's on that list that we put up in the Discord. You could have seen that as well. Not like I said, those aren't plays. Don't just play them blindly, but. Joseph and crew, if you do go over there, you can see some of the games that have moved already, and that's kind of key as far as where the line has moved. Looks like Fernando's on a play. Jeff, I did go with the it was your game, right? In the Seattle Grand Canyon game, it went over. And is that what you mean? And under. We're going under in North Dakota State, South Dakota State. All right. Oh, okay, Rodney. Yeah, in fact, they just have it like every so on. So don't, I know you're not making your schedule change just to play this tournament, but that's when they usually have it Friday nights on occasion. It's not even a set schedule. We're just having one this week with no football. Thanks, everybody. Thanks for joining me here on the Mornings Team. Spending 2 hours with me here on a day where we talked about more nonsense and games, but I do appreciate being able to talk to somebody, even if it's just a bunch of people in a chat room. That'll do it for us here on the show. Make sure you join me tomorrow for more Morning Steam. We'll have basketball action, of course, for a Friday, including a bigger NBA card and a little bit of college basketball. And get you ready for, maybe we can even come up with some soccer or something. Join us in the Discord for all that. I want to thank everybody in the chat as well for their contributions today. I want to thank VeloCut stopped by also. Our Toms, Joseph Thompson was here. Perky, as always. Thomas Lewis, Rodney Barton, Fernando, Jeff, and Ray Otachi was here today, as well as Terrell. Timmy Chushu was here today. Daryl Turner, Rick, as always. Grip Nitty, Shay Nunn. How about that? Fernando, Panger Life, also here today. Lex Steele stopped by, and I didn't even get to say hi. Hope you're still out there, Lex. Always great to see you. David Burns, you know where he comes from, Cedar Hill, Texas. Also, we had today, as part of our group, of course, the great Chad Colvin with his picks. Jerry Koo, he was our special first-time commenter today. He wins the award for the best first-time commenter today. Thank you to Jerry. Tim Humphrey was here as well. Things that might have been it from the core group of guys. Thanks a lot, everybody. Come back tomorrow, would you? Gerardo as well. Silly Squad TV. Stop by. Brent Cook, as always. His awesome contributions. Gamble. He was here as well. And that might do Mikey M. Can't forget Mike Money here. They want to call him Mid-Major Mike, but you know what? Mid-Major Matt might have a problem with that. Curtis as well. Biggie stopped by. Thanks, everybody. Percent Better, Russell. That do it? CTG, can't forget. Hey, thank you for your support as well with the package there today. Hopefully we get this one too, and we'll just keep on hitching a ride here. Maybe we'll win again. You'll hang with me for a while. And just appreciate even the one, whatever. It's just great. I really appreciate it. Anyone who purchases the package a day long, it's your support of me. Thomas Bird, Stephen Downey, and Matt D too. Don't forget. Thanks a lot. Bo Dunn. If you're still there, Bo, shout out. I see you. Thank you, my friend. Your videos are so awesome. I watch every single one. All right, that's going to do it for the morning steam for Tony'sPicks.com. Don't forget Tony in the drive-thru, 6 Eastern, 3 Pacific. Tony in the drive-thru crew. Join me in the chat in that show. We always have the late pick for the action. And hey, I did hit it right last night. I believe in that chat. I don't remember now. All right, that's going to do it. For Tony'sPicks.com, I'm Ramon Scott.
Who can it be showing up with Tony T? Yes, Ramon SEO. To the double TV fuddling these bookies like 1, 2, 3. They tapping out and we cashing now. It's plain to see. The morning steam is the A-team, Mr. T. And I pity the fools who can't hang. Coming with real game is sort of a freight train. It's been reported bank rolls are easy to maintain. So get situated.